Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cunning Card Mage channel. Today we're covering the final part of the video series entitled The Hobby and You and You and You. Linked right up here will be the playlist where it will have the first two parts covering the companies and the local game stores, specifically focusing on Wizards of the Coast and Games Workshop because those are the two that I have a lot of experience with, and those are the two hobbies that I'm mostly focused on myself and the hobbies that I have talked about briefly on this channel. The second part, just to cover bases real quick, was going over local game stores and how they go about communicating between the companies and the customers, and also work to bring in new customers into these different hobbies. Today, we're mostly going to be focusing on the customers themselves and how they interact with the hobby and the ways that they might be able to communicate with the companies themselves in order to do very specific things. That being said, let's get into it. So, starting off, whenever it comes to how a customer might interact with a hobby, there are a few avenues that they might go through. The first that we will focus on in this is how a majority of the players I interviewed got into Magic the Gathering. As mentioned in the first part of this video series, Wizards has developed a few resources to try to bring in players into the game through the game arena and the different welcome decks. However, whenever I asked the players at my local game stores how they themselves got into the game, that was more often not the case. Many of the people I interviewed got into Magic through like their friends or family who were already into the game, and they decided to try it out because someone they knew had already played it and brought it to the attention. And then it was through those people that helped teach them how to play the game and that sort of thing. And then once they found out about Magic, that person would help get them into it through some of the welcome decks, since those do provide a solid on ramp into understanding the game. Quote, I bought a pre-made deck and joined them. I did know about the other resources, yeah, but honestly, the little rules pamphlet they had in the deck really made it easy to learn standard. In this instance, this was one of the people I interviewed at my LGS. This is how the avenue of learning via the local game store is completely subverted in bringing the hobby to newcomers. Not to say that that avenue is completely worthless, because some people might not have friends to bring the hobby to their attention, and their local game store might broach that subject to them. One of the very interesting things to look at whenever it comes to how a customer might interact with the company is through social media. To me, this is a huge boon and a curse at the exact same time, because it makes the communication of how they feel about specific decisions or reveals made by the company. Another thing that is fun is looking at how Warhammer goes about communicating with their customers with their weekly posts on their Instagram story, where they highlight different members of the community and the minis that they painted. To me, this is a thing that I very much enjoyed that helps encourage to try harder and to try to post my own minis to see if it can get the reach. And it helps to encourage that creative aspect of the hobby. Now we can go back over to Wizards to look at how they interact with their community on social media. For this, I want to talk about the ambassador program they have for content creators during the reveal period. This, is especially prevalent right now since we are currently in the reveal period with the upcoming set Secret of Strixhaven that comes out within 2 weeks as of the recording of this video. But for this, Wizards sends out a card with two different treatments, normally just the normal card and then like a extended art, but it depends on specific things, because it might be something from a bonus sheet, something, or just a normal card from the normal sheet. But it's just, they send this out to a specific creator and to announce and show off to their community. This is evidence here with the content creator The T-Beard, where he was sent a package by Watsy that included a few different items and the 2 cards to show off to help drum up the excitement for the set.
Got something in the mail and I am so excited about it. This box says it's from Wizards of the Coast, and in case you guys missed it, they just announced all the secrets of Strixhaven stuff, so I think that might be something with what's inside. Let's find out. Oh, wow. So a few weeks ago, Wizards of the Coast sent me an email having me take a quiz as to my Strixhaven college and what college I would be in with Strixhaven. College of Silverquill. Got a bumper sticker. Check this out. Look at the burned edges. Oh, it's like a fabric too. Oh. Dear Strixhaven student, congrats on your acceptance to Silverquill College. Oh, a Silverquill cloak? Cape? What is this? Oh, it's got the patch for Silverquill on it. Oh, yes. Yes, this is what we're doing now. This is what we're doing. What do you think? What do you guys think? Yes? This is the last thing in the box. This is heavy. Whoa. It's a pocket watch? Wow. That is sick. Look at that. A pocket watch? Is there anything else in here? This is... Oh, wait, there's 2. Oh. Oh, that's cool. It's some cards. I don't know if I can reveal these yet. This is cool. Well, in case you guys can't tell, I'm an ambassador for the Secrets of Strixhaven Magic the Gathering set coming out in just a couple of weeks. I highly recommend checking it out. It seems pretty cool. Follow along for more Magic the Gathering.
And this is such a beneficial way because it helps involve more of the community in the reveal of the set rather than just doing their normal YouTube video that announces some of the cards and the different treatments and all that kind of stuff. Now, that is not to say this communication avenue between Wizards and their customers is the best. Of course not. It is very difficult to ensure that communication is always perfect, since when a corporation gets too big, that avenue becomes difficult to upkeep. However, there are some moments where the communication between the customers and Wizards leads to a helpful resolution. One such moment was during the Monster Hunter Secret Lair. First off, I want to preface, I wasn't fully tuned into this moment because 1, I'm not a huge Monster Hunter fan, and I also wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I tend to not really follow social media for Magic and that kind of stuff. There is the occasional thing I am. Right now, I'm very much tuned in to the Magic Instagram, trying to keep track of all the different reveals with Strixhaven. However, this moment was brought to me by one of the people at my LGS, but that aside, let's hop right into this. So, during November 2025, Wizards announced a brand new Secret Lair Super Drop that was a collaboration with Monster Hunter, which was a massive video game series that has a lot of fans. A lot of the cards that were included had some of the titular monsters, but they were chosen to be reprints of cards that fans of the games believed didn't align with. One of the examples for this was the card Gore Magala. I don't know, as I said, I'm not a Monster Hunter person. A dragon in the game who brings blight and poison, but they chose to have him represented by a card that did not follow that in-game mechanic. This was also paired with the fact that this drop didn't include any of the famous kinds of equipment or the other characters from the Monster Hunter games that led to a lot of backlash in the community. And there was so much backlash that in December of 2025, Wizards announced that they would postpone the release until this year. Quote, "Like many of you, we're big fans of Monster Hunters. It's why we put this super drop together. But in our excitement, we missed the mark on elements like card selection and faithfully integrating world and mechanics of Monster Hunter. As a result, the overall construction of this super drop is not up to the standard you have come to expect." And this is just such a perfect moment that encapsulates how social media allows the communication between the customer and the company to be more frequent, leading to a positive change in the hobby. On top of that, it allows company to shout out members of its community to help encourage more interaction between the customer base to build up the community to show that there is that somewhat friendly repertoire between them. And customers have this helpful role that when it comes to this symbiotic circle of the local game store, the company, and the customer, to where they are a portion of the main thing that is the target. While the company is trying to get to the customer, they have to go through the local game store, and to do that there's a whole different thing, but it's a big, nice, beautiful circle where they all are helping each other out on occasion if everything's going according to plan. But with that, that is the end of the video series of the hobby and you and you and you. Hopefully this was a helpful in bringing some aspects to light that you might not have known whenever it comes to the communication aspect of social media, not social media, the communication aspect of the hobbies and how companies go about ensuring that there's decent communication at the end of the day. If you enjoyed this video series, leave a like and comment down below what you might want me to talk about next. If there's anything that you felt I missed that would be very helpful to potentially cover in another video. This was definitely a lot of fun to go about this project because it allowed me to learn more about the hobbies that I love so dearly, and the links to the different things that I briefly mentioned will be down in the description below. But that is basically all I really wanted to talk about. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully this was a very enjoyable video series. That's about it. Bye!